Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Workforce Wednesday. Our topic today is Bridge to Apprenticeship, and our presenters are Tara Cole and Ann Pham. They are Apprenticeship Program Specialists with Texas Workforce Commission, Apprenticeship, Texas, and today is February 19th. And my name is Olga Escamilla, and I'm going to be your host and moderator today. This time, I'd like to welcome our presenters. Today, we have Tara Cole, and she's a program lead for the state-funded apprenticeship training program with the Texas Workforce Commission. She holds a Certified Texas Contract Manager certification, and she's been in the public workforce system for over 20 years, working in various positions at the Texas Workforce Commission, and she graduated from Texas State University with a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice. So welcome, Tara. We also have Ann Pham, and she is the Apprenticeship Program Specialist with Texas Workforce Commission, and she has extensive public and private industry work experience. And prior to working with TWC, she was the Principal Industry Liaison with the Gulf Coast Workforce Board. She has professional work experience in several industry sectors, including construction, advanced manufacturing, petrochemical, healthcare, and information technology. She graduated from St. Edward's University with a BBA in Operational Management and an MBA in International Business. So welcome, Tara and Ann. We're going to go ahead and get started with our presentation. Tara, take it away.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Olga, for those introductions and allowing us to participate in today's Workforce Wednesday webinar. So to familiarize your listeners with our voices, I'm Tara Cole, and here with me is
Ann Pham. Hi, everyone. So a little bit about our department and what we do. We are with the Texas Workforce Commission Office of Apprenticeship. We currently have 4 staff members, including our State Director, Desi Holmes, and our other apprenticeship specialist, George McIntyre. We travel the state promoting the registered apprenticeship training model and engage with employers and job seekers on the benefits and value of registered apprenticeship.
So the objectives we want to go over today in this webinar, we want to give you an overview of the apprenticeship model. We want to dispel some apprenticeship myths and misconceptions that are out there. We want to share with you some different types of partnership models. We're going to discuss the role of the educator and where adult education can participate, and provide you with some benefits for education providers. So let's get started.
In its simplest form, an apprenticeship is a program that trains a worker to become skilled in a particular trade. Apprenticeships combine hands-on work-based learning with classroom education to train the apprentice. Apprenticeships are considered full-time employment, commonly referred to as the learn and earn training model. As the apprentice is learning, they're also applying the lessons through working. Apprentices learn and progress through the training by mastering and performing certain skills and competencies.
Apprenticeship is an industry-driven, high-quality career pathway where employers can develop and prepare their future workforce. For individuals, registered apprenticeships allow them to gain work-based learning experiences coupled with an education that will result in an industry-recognized credential while getting paid. First, apprenticeship programs provide apprentices with a paycheck from day one that is guaranteed to increase as they become more proficient. It connects education and work simultaneously. It combines both on-the-job learning and job-related instruction. And lastly, it results in an industry-recognized credential, and in many cases, college credits that can lead to an associate or even a bachelor's degree.
Apprenticeships have been a proven employment and training strategy for many years, and a leader among the broader category of work-based learning, which includes internships, work experience, and on-the-job customized training. A pre-apprenticeship is a preparatory program that grooms individuals who want to eventually enroll in full-time apprenticeships in certain industries or trades.
Pre-apprenticeships are designed to prepare students with the job-specific academic knowledge and skills training needed to enter and succeed in a registered apprenticeship program. Delivered in a variety of formats, generally with a job shadow or hands-on component, and with an instructional-based environment such as a classroom or a lab. Pre-apprenticeship programs allow for participants to explore career options. Pre-apprenticeships serve as a bridge or career pathway connecting to an existing apprenticeship program with an employer engagement component. Pre-apprenticeship programs are being used to expand access and diversify the talent pipeline of skilled workers. And pre-apprenticeships are developed in a variety of industries such as healthcare, information technology, manufacturing, hospitality, building trades, and others.
The basic components of an apprenticeship program are the same regardless of industry or whether the program is run by an individual employer or a group of employers acting as a partnership. An apprenticeship program consists of 5 key components. The first component is business involvement. Employers are the foundation of every apprenticeship program, and in fact, an apprenticeship program simply can't exist without them. Businesses must play a lead role in building the program and be involved in every step in designing the apprenticeship. Next is structured on-the-job learning. Apprentices receive on-the-job learning from an experienced mentor for typically not less than 1 year. On-the-job learning is developed by mapping out the skills and knowledge that the apprentice must learn over the course of the program so that he or she will be fully proficient in the job at the completion of the program. Related instruction is the next key component. Apprenticeships combine on-the-job learning with technical education provided by community colleges, technical schools, or apprenticeship training schools, or even by the business itself. All apprenticeship programs include rewards for skills gained. Apprentices receive increases in wages as they gain higher level skills, and then employers establish an entry wage and an ending wage and build in progressive wage increases throughout the apprenticeship as competency benchmarks are attained. Progressive wage increases help reward and motivate apprentices as they advance through their training. Apprenticeship programs result in a nationally recognized credential. This is a 100% guarantee to employers that apprentices are fully qualified for the job. Apprenticeship programs are designed to ensure that the apprentices master every competency and have knowledge needed to be fully proficient for specific occupations. So we've given you a lot of information and want to pause here and see if there are any questions at this time.
So we'll go ahead and give you some time. If you have questions, please type them in the chat box and don't be afraid to ask questions. So I learned some new information already, and I'm sure you have too. I like the aspect that you talked about, and I'm going to go back to that slide here about the rewards for skills gains. As you mentioned that there are built-in increases in wages as the individuals in these apprenticeships gain higher level skills. I think that is one great benefit so that our participants or that the participants in the apprenticeship model can get those rewards, those gains.
We'll move on to common myths and misconceptions. So I'm sure as you're aware, there are several misconceptions circulating out there around apprenticeships, and today we want to take a few minutes to dispel some of those. The biggest myth we hear is all apprenticeships are union jobs. Since apprenticeship has been traditionally closely associated with the building and manufacturing trades, many have a misconception that apprenticeship can only be used in unionized workplaces. On the contrary, apprenticeship has been widely used in both union and non-union businesses with positive results. The majority of the registered apprenticeships that are in Texas are non-union. There is no requirement to have a labor organization representation when starting up a registered apprenticeship program here in Texas. A second myth that we get is apprenticeship is only for construction. And this is a common misunderstanding about registered apprenticeship, as this can only be used for construction jobs or other skilled trades. It is not a workforce strategy that will work for in-demand or emerging industries in the economy. The myth always is out there. The apprenticeship model can work for any business: construction, industry, healthcare, IT, banking. Today, there are apprenticeship programs in over 1,000 occupations including some that I just mentioned, and advanced manufacturing, transportation, logistics, energy, and so forth.
The third myth is one size fits all. Employers tend to think that there is only one way to run an apprenticeship and that it will not fit with their needs. They may not understand the flexibility that exists in apprenticeship model. Registered apprenticeship can be customized to meet the needs of nearly every type of business. Apprenticeship program design is flexible and allows for customization for training and education delivery and the length of the program, among other key areas. For example, on-the-job training component of the apprenticeship is tailored to the specific skill requirements of the company, grounding the training in the real work of the business. The fourth myth, apprenticeship costs. Many employers resist the idea of starting an apprenticeship program due to the costs involved. Businesses hire workers to be apprentices and pay their wages. There may be other costs to employers, such as contributing to related instruction. Many of the benefits of the apprenticeship model appear to go to the apprentice, who will eventually have a credential and the bridge to further continuing education. An employer does not have to bear all of the costs of an apprenticeship program alone. Collaborating with other employers in the same industry can reduce the cost for apprenticeship. The public workforce system, educational institutions, and community organizations can aid in reducing education and training costs and other support services for apprentices. The next myth is that it is a second chance option. Often we hear apprenticeships are for people who don't do well at school. Apprenticeships are simply a post-secondary route into skilled employment. They are a great way to earn while you learn, gain vital work experience, and set yourself on a fast track to a successful career. Apprenticeships are available to people of all ages, making them a great option for anyone looking to change a career, improve their skills in order to secure a new role, or re-enter the labor market after having taken time out for whatever reason. The last myth is that it's for the non-college bound. On the contrary, at the end of an apprenticeship, apprentices earn industry-recognized credentials, and in many cases, they receive college credits that may lead to an associate or bachelor's degree.
Next, we want to discuss opportunities for building partnerships. The sponsor of a registered apprenticeship program and the roles of partners can vary depending on the structure in place for each apprenticeship initiative. The partnership examples that we're going to go over here show the flexibility of the apprenticeship model and will provide you with some ideas about the multiple options for sponsorship, partner roles, and the resources that the different partners can bring to the program. On the left side of your screen, you'll see a single employer model. Here, the business acts as the program sponsor, where they are providing the on-the-job training and they're delivering the related instruction on the job site. A workforce intermediary recruits and screens for the apprentices, and a community college develops the related instructional curriculum. Groups of employers often collaborate to develop industry partnerships or local apprenticeship consortia as a way to mitigate the time and cost involved in developing a skilled workforce. These business consortia also partner with workforce, education, and community organizations to leverage support and resources for apprenticeship programs. So on the right side of the screen, you'll see an example of a multiple employer model. The business consortia is serving as the program sponsor as well as providing the on-the-job training. A community-based organization is serving to assist with providing support services to the apprentices. A community college or other training provider is providing the related instruction to apprentices. And in this scenario, the workforce intermediary is leveraging or paying for the related instruction. Another example of an apprenticeship partnership is the labor organization model. Here, an individual employer is providing the on-the-job training. A community college or other training provider is providing the related instruction to the apprentices. An adult education program or other workforce intermediary recruits apprentices and provides basic skills training or related activities. And the labor organization in this example is serving as the program sponsor.
So let's walk through a hypothetical example of a potential apprenticeship partnership model and how it may work and how everything may fit together. So as a full disclaimer, this is just an example of a simple linear pathway. Obviously, this model could work in multiple nonlinear ways as well. But I heard yesterday that someone from Tyler might be here on the webinar, so let's go to Tyler, Texas. So let's say in Tyler, Texas, there are two food product manufacturers, Frito-Lay and Tastes of the Southwest. Frito-Lay makes potato chips, pastries, soda, dips, salsa, nuts and seeds, and a lot of other yummy products. Taste of the Southwest is a homegrown manufacturer and specializes in small batch dip mix, soup mix, pickled jalapenos, and seasoning. And their role is critical and very important because they pay wages, benefits, and provide 2,000 hours of on-the-job training per year per apprentice. Apprentices are full-time W-2 employees. So next, we have an industry association. Let's take Texas Association of Manufacturers. Located in Austin, they promote manufacturing companies across Texas and sponsors the Registered Apprenticeship Program. So what does it mean when they are the program sponsor? Well, they are responsible for managing and administrating the program. They take on the legal responsibility of ensuring that the program is operating in compliance with the federal apprenticeship regulation. They will be the entity with the registered program, and they will have the number. The businesses are partners and agree to work with the Texas Association of Manufacturers Apprenticeship Program through their licensure. Next, we have the Workforce Board, the workforce system. In Tyler, that region, the Workforce Solutions, Deep East Texas, is their local workforce board. Now, the board there can help by referring potential candidates for employment, maybe underrepresented populations like veterans, people with disabilities, and women. In addition, the Workforce Board may assist by offsetting tuition or OJT costs for eligible individuals. So the community college, there's Tyler Junior College, and their role is to help deliver the related technical instruction or the classroom education. Each registered apprentice must have 144 hours per year of related instruction. And several community colleges work with high schools on career pathways through pre-apprenticeship and provide dual college credit when and where applicable. When this strategy is used, it truncates the time, increases credentialing, and the skills for apprentices. Now, that leads us to Tyler Independent School District, which represents the K through 12 education. They have several high schools: Early, College High, John Tyler High, Robert E. Lee High, and a career and technical center. Now in Texas, pre-apprenticeship is the beginning of a career pathway to a career. In 2013, Texas House Bill 5 restructured the state's high school graduation requirements and allowed students to earn endorsements in specific areas of study by completing 4 additional credits. The endorsement areas are the arts and humanities, business and industry, public service, and STEM. Pre-apprenticeship programs complement this graduation requirement. High school juniors and seniors may be eligible pre-apprentices. They may be enrolled in occupation-specific academic classes, which allows them to learn and gain knowledge needed to enter a registered apprenticeship program. During the summertime, they work on-site with an employer, earn a wage, continue their work-based learning, and accrue apprenticeship OJT hours. Upon high school graduation or competency, the students can literally walk away with a high school diploma, a community college credit, and a full year of registered apprenticeship credentials. So that is just a short example of how everything can fit together.
So we wanted to pause again during the webinar and ask if there were any questions over the types of apprenticeship models.
So we'll give you all a moment. I know that there's a lot of information that was just provided, but if you have any questions, any thoughts, because I know you're thinking about how would this work. So Beatrice has a question. Beatrice, did you want to speak? Because we have a question. Before we go to Beatrice, Nabor says, are there any costs to the district? I guess in that model you were talking about where you talked about the school district, are there any cost to the district?
There's no cost to the district because the district is already offering and following the Texas House Bill 5 when giving the additional credentialing requirements. So this just actually complements, and it may develop a stronger relationship with your local businesses because those employers are working directly with the school district and mentoring and coaching the students while they're still in their junior and senior year.
If there are costs involved, there might be around curriculum and instructors, and that's usually worked out with the partners of that pre-apprenticeship program.
Okay, we have another question. Thank you. From Joseph. Whatever the origins and whoever the individual might be, it seems that this individual would ask for apprenticeship from whatever entity they first seek out. Example, workforce board.
So if let me see if I'm understanding the question correctly. If a job seeker is going to a workforce board to seek career services or search for a job or whatever the case may be, then they can inform the workforce board that they're interested in an apprenticeship within the area. So they'll be getting a job and receiving training.
Okay, so I think that's what was being asked, but let me ask you this. So is there any instance that you know of in your experience with the organizations or the businesses that are providing apprenticeships, it's advertised or
absolutely
put out there?
A lot of times a registered apprenticeship program will work hand in hand with their local workforce solutions office to assist with recruitment, screening of applicants for that registered apprenticeship program. A lot of times they'll even do career events to promote certain underrepresented populations to go into those registered apprenticeship programs or industries. There are a lot of existing partnerships that are going on now and best practices for recruitment efforts into registered apprenticeship programs.
Okay, and we had a comment from Jennifer. Jennifer says, just a comment, for the companies or businesses investing in the training and supporting their employees, is it really a win-win for both?
With the employers we communicate and engage with, they see it as an investment into their workforce. A lot of times, and we might speak a little bit more to it here in our slide deck, when a business approaches us, they have a certain need, and we're figuring out what that need is to help develop registered apprenticeship around that need. Yes, it is a win-win for both the apprentice, the job seeker, and the employer. Ann, you want to add to that?
Okay. So is there a website where one can find out where there are apprenticeships available?
Yeah, so DOL just revamped their website. There used to be a Career One-Stop Apprenticeship Finder sponsor, and just recently when they redid their website, they took down that link, but instead they've added apprenticeship.gov. So if you go to just the DOL and just Google apprenticeship.gov, it should come up with a website, and then you can look for either job opportunities or the sponsored apprenticeship programs. And then it'll even let you whittle it down to the city and the state.
Oh, thank you for that. That's great. That's great to know in case some of our programs might be interested in finding out where their students can transition into an apprenticeship. So we have one other question. What areas can we look into, which provide child care, or is this an area we work in, particularly odd hours? Is the support service incorporated into that? I guess if they're working with workforce, but I'll let you respond.
Yes, correct. If they're a workforce intermediary, such as a workforce solutions office is involved in the partnership, they could be leveraging some of those WIOA services, child care services, transportation support, that kind of thing. I think we are actually, there's some entities in Texas that are developing a child care registered apprenticeship program that's in the works I don't know if it's been approved yet, but there is a couple of entities that are actually working on a child care registered apprenticeship program.
Well, that's good to know, and hopefully that could be replicated in other areas. So
Absolutely.
Beatrice has another question. She said, or maybe a comment. We were fortunate to have an apprenticeship at the voting polls. Is this also one of your areas? So would that be one of the types of apprenticeship that your department works with, or is this a little bit different?
Not familiar with apprentices at the voting polls, but does it mean that there's not competencies needed to develop a program for those working the voting polls?
Okay. Well, thank you. I don't see any other questions coming in, so I think we can continue. Thank you all for your questions, and if you have any others, please don't be shy and type them in the chat box, because we really want to.
They're great questions.
We really want to take advantage of this opportunity. We have Tara and Ann, and they're here at our disposal to answer our questions. So, thank you.
Okay, so next slide, we'll go into role education providers can play in apprenticeship. All apprenticeship programs include an opportunity for an applied learning through the development of curriculum, the delivery of classroom instruction, or providing pathways to a career, college degree, and or certifications. And of course, those partnerships we just talked about to build and better prepare students for the workforce. As a middle school educator or service provider, helping students first explore careers, or a high school or post-secondary educator ready to launch students into the workplace, there are many ways that education providers can get involved. For us, when we engage with employers, we take a team approach to pull in our workforce partners to assist with addressing the employer's needs. First, we identify what workforce issues or challenges an employer is facing. If training is identified as one of those needs, we learn to identify if it's a retention challenge, if it's needing newly qualified workers, if it's recruitment goals for future workforce needs, or if it's individual employment barriers that might be a pain point. And during those engagement phases, we speak to the registered apprenticeship model as a career pathway for all customers. We promote our underrepresented populations such as AEL, vocational rehabilitation, and women in both traditional and non-traditional occupations. Registered apprenticeships are a great opportunity for adult learners to transition to post-secondary education, training, or employment. And AEL providers can play a role in providing workforce training instruction to help apprentices acquire the skills needed to succeed in the workforce, earn a high school equivalency if needed, and enter and succeed in registered apprenticeships.
So what are the benefits for educators? For colleges, apprenticeships may be another avenue to increase revenue streams. It helps fulfill the mission of increasing enrollment and completion metrics, and provides the opportunity to create pathways to degrees at your institution for apprenticeship graduates. Another benefit is that it provides hands-on learning opportunities. And lastly, another benefit is that educators get real-time feedback from local businesses on training needs, and then this, in turn, will develop stronger connection to employers.
So we wanted to leave you all with some resources. When we talk about registered apprenticeship, we use the DOL Quick Start Toolkit to assist with navigating the conversation. Provided here on the slide is a link to that toolkit. This toolkit provides helpful steps and resources to start and register an apprenticeship program, from exploring the apprenticeship model as a workforce strategy to launching a new program.
So this slide is questions that you might have, frequently asked question tools for all things apprenticeship, from a basic understanding to partner roles and responsibilities. And also on the next slide is a fact sheet that you can go to, and that one is geared towards the partnership between apprenticeship and the workforce system.
One of the things we wanted to plug before I end today's webinar was we wanted to let you know that we are hosting our 4th annual Apprenticeship Texas Conference on September 17th and 18th at the McAllen Convention and Visitors Bureau. And we're hoping registration will open this spring. And we're excited. The agenda is going to be lively with many sessions on providing the how and why apprenticeship programs were developed and a lot of employer perspective panels.
So here's our contact information, mine along with Tara's. The best way to reach us is at our group email address. It's that apprenticeshiptexas@twc.state.tx.us. So, and at this time, this concludes our webinar, and we want to hand it over back to Olga, and we'll be here to answer any other questions you may have, and then Olga can help us close out the webinar.
Thank you so much, Tara and Ann. So I wanted to let you know, for those of you that are on right now, that I have copied and pasted the links that were mentioned for the Quick Start Toolkit and for the Frequently Asked Questions and for the fact sheet. Those links are currently in the chat box. And I also put in the email address apprenticeshiptexas@twc.state.tx.us in the chat box. And Nabor says, who should attend the conference?
Anybody and everybody. Our conferences are geared towards anybody wanting to get into the registered apprenticeship space. We do have a lot of audience members that represent education, K through 12, workforce intermediaries, employers are in our audience. Anybody who wants to figure out how they can get involved and learn about how to develop and be aware of what's going on in your area too. There's a lot of success stories that get shared on how those can be replicated throughout the state. And then it gives some insight as to what's going on at the national level regarding registered apprenticeship overall. I think one of the questions was, what is the cost of attending the conference? Last year, I believe the cost was $250. I believe there's an early bird special for that. I don't know when that time frame will kick in, but as we get closer to the event, that will increase by about $50, I believe. We always put a call out for anybody who might want to be an exhibitor at our event. We do have an employer exhibitor engagement networking session the first night of the conference. So it gives all the exhibitors an opportunity to showcase their services, products, and network with employers, intermediaries, community colleges, partners at the conference.
Thank you, Tara. So one of the questions that I have is, do you by any chance, off the top of your head, know the address where the information is for all the different conferences? I know that there's a page, like a conference page or an event.
TWC's events page will have our Apprenticeship Texas Conference information as well as all the other events that TWC hosts or co-hosts. Again,
so if you log on to the TWC site, you just search for the events page.
Yes, I believe it's in the right bottom half of the home page. It'll have events tab, and you click there, and it'll take you to all the events TWC has going on.
Very good, because, yeah, there is a page that has more information as the registration opens and as the event nears. And Nabor says, is this conference information going to community action coordinators or directors? Nabor, I believe that it is not, but when it is available, Tara and Ann can send that to me, and I will forward that to everybody in adult ed so that you will know. So if I could do that. I could send that out to everybody through our listserv. And Beatrice says, what about employment opportunities for students in terms of, Beatrice?
One of the things TWC has going on right now is a pilot project that involves workforce education outreach specialists through the workforce boards. They are in the high schools working with counselors to share career opportunities with students in the high school. Registered apprenticeship is one of those opportunities that they inform students of. We do attend career events and, of course, talk about the registered apprenticeship pathway and the benefits of enrolling in a registered apprenticeship program. There are times we'll speak to parents about registered apprenticeship and the benefits, so they kind of get a different perspective on what a training model might look like, always sharing with them that it's a career first, not so much college debt is accrued going through a registered apprenticeship program. What else is on there?
Okay. We had Vishal say, does TWC in Houston have a list of apprenticeship specific to the Houston area? Or where could they find that list?
That apprenticeship.gov website would help narrow it down by city and state.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on that apprenticeship.gov, again, we mentioned earlier, you can go and look specifically for an occupation or that would lead a student to a career pathway, or you could also search for sponsored programs, and you can whittle it down to the city and to the state. Let me see. One of the things that apprenticeship.gov also does is at some intervals, some cities, they'll even promote opportunities that are non-apprenticeship too. So you'll get a mixture of both. Oh, thanks.
There you go.
There you
Perfect.
go. Thank you, Olga, for putting it up.
So we're looking at apprenticeship.gov. So here it is. This is have a career path or location in mind. Enter them below, and we'll help you find an apprenticeship opportunity near you. So if we put maybe Houston, Texas, right? Houston.
Yes.
Do we have to have, oh, look, it even said South Houston. Do we have to have an occupation, or can we just search the area?
You just go search.
Okay, so I'm going to put in Houston, Texas, and I'm going to hit search. Ooh, this is nice. Porcelain countertop installer, ASC automotive technician. I'm not sure what this is. Military intelligence systems maintainer. So this might even be, oh, that's an Army National Guard, for someone who might be prior military maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this one, intelligence analyst, that's a prior military. HVAC technician. That says military veterans also. Advanced scouting apprentice, auto body, collision repair, operations manager. So yeah, Mercedes-Benz automotive service. And then sprinkler fitter apprentice. It says load more. So you can even click to load more. So apprenticeship.gov.
And there's some filter options towards the right.
Right here where it says filter.
Yeah.
Or sort by nearest to you, most recent, A to Z. Let's see. Filters. Oh, look. You could say Houston, Bel Air, Galena Park, South Houston. So there's more, and you could do within a 10-mile radius, 20, 50, 100.
And you'll see the registered category option there. That means they are registered with the Department of Labor.
Oh, wow. Great. So you could click on any. So if you wanted to look at maybe South Houston within 10-mile radius and a registered apprenticeship, you can apply the filters. Oh, nothing. That's too specific. Let's see, 50 miles maybe? And maybe you would have to enter a skill, but let's see. No, still nothing. All right, maybe that's let's just do Houston. There we go. So power generation field service tech level 2 and field service level 1, and that's with Cummins Incorporated. So it kind of gives you, on the other side here, it gives you information about it, and then you can even hit apply for your, right, to register?
Yes, ma'am. And you'll see they're registered with their little star that lets you know they're registered with the Department of Labor.
Yeah,
so
there
will be opportunities listed on this website that are also non-registered apprenticeship opportunities. So not everything that you see is registered. But if they are, then they'll have the gold star and asterisk next to it so that it identifies them as being registered with DOL.
Okay, that's good to know. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. That's a really great resource right there, everyone. So yes, so thanks for the website. Very good. So it says, would you be a contact person regarding employment I think that would be a no. They would have to contact whoever, like look at that website and contact those places, correct?
Right. But if you have companies or employers that would like to be registered, then certainly we can provide technical assistance and help the company understand what the requirements and components, walk through the application process. So if you have potential employers interested in your region, then certainly we would be more than happy to help.
And they would contact apprenticeshiptexas@twc.state.tx.us, and that's the best way to reach you.
Yes.
For more information or to connect you with an employer or connect an employer that might be interested in apprenticeships.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Does anybody else have any other questions? So I'll wait just a moment, but I want to thank Ann and Tara again. I know that Ann and Tara are extremely busy. I mentioned to them, I see them on Twitter at various events throughout the state and the nation. So they're all over spreading the word about apprenticeship and working with different businesses to get apprenticeships going in Texas, because I know that the commissioner is very, very
Our champion, yeah.
He's our
thank you. He's proactive. He's a champion for apprenticeships, and it's his passion, I believe, because he's out there promoting them. So I thank you all. Thank you so much for sharing this information, for taking the time to be here, and also thank everyone who attended. So we really appreciate you being here for Workforce Wednesday, and we look forward to seeing you next time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.